Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a video that I've been wanting to make for a very long time. This is the Crossman R1. It is a semi-auto BB gun or air rifle. However, it also comes in full auto if you're from most other countries. Just UK, it's semi-auto, but if you're from the US or something, then you can get the full auto version and they're awesome. As you might be able to tell, my guns are a little bit dusty because I haven't shot any of them in quite a few months actually. Just general life stuff took over. But I'm really excited to be shooting this one today for sure. So let's have a little look at this rifle first and then we'll do some shooting tests. So obviously this is not what this rifle looks like out of the box. I've added a lot of other attachments to it, but I'll go over what it generally looks like when you get it out of the box. We'll start at the front then. This is a Hasta Nebula tracer unit and smoke suppressor, although I never really use the smoke. I just use it for the flash and it looks pretty cool. This does not come with it. Normally you just have a regular muzzle brake on, but I think that this looks a lot cooler. What do you guys think? Moving back, you've got these long Picatinny rails. There's 4 of them, one on top, either side and underneath. So I mean, you can add a load of attachments on these. For example, I added this is a fairly new addition actually. I added this pressure torch. And I did it in such a way so that when you hold the grip, you sort of activate the torch like so. It's a super nice torch. I haven't really used it that much, and it's really bright. It's one of the WADSN airsoft ones. They tend to make good quality torches, so I like to buy from them. And then of course we've got this grip. This is a Magpul grip. I tried to get it in a tan color to sort of match. It didn't really match very well, but I bought this when I realized that I was actually finding it quite hard to grip onto the rifle and hold it stable whilst I was shooting. And this has helped a ton, and they're not very expensive at all, so I definitely recommend getting one of these with the rifle. But obviously none of this stuff comes with it. You've just got the plain rails, and you've got this flip up iron sight here as well, which, I mean, to be honest, they're not great. You can't really see much through the sights. That's a very small little, but what I did find is out of the box they're accurate. You know, they were zeroed in. You look down the sights and pull the trigger, and the BB would go exactly where you're looking, which is quite useful. As you can see by these screws, I believe that these rails are removable. I haven't done that, so I'm not quite sure what they look like, but if you're interested, I believe you can remove them as well. Moving back up the top rail, you can see I've added this Theta Optics hollow sight. I've had this for ages. It used to be on my airsoft guns, but I don't use my airsoft guns anymore really, so I put it on this one. It's an alright sight. It's not great. It's pretty cheap. It's like £35 or something. It's got a green dot and a red dot, and I think I've zeroed it in. I mean, we'll see in the shooting test later, but it sort of does the job, and it also looks pretty cool in the rifle as well, in my opinion. And again, you've just got the rear flip up sight as well, which these are adjustable by the way, but as you can see there's a very tiny hole there, so looking through the sights isn't the most pleasurable experience. We'll move down here on the right side of the rifle. You've got the dust cover there. The thing I love about this is compared to normal sort of airsoft guns, you know, realistic airsoft guns, unless you get sort of a gas blowback one, these are just as real as it gets. You've got this fake charging handle here at the back. I say fake, but I mean, you can pull it back exactly like a real rifle. Hold on, like so, and that opens the dust cover, and you can see all the internals. That's the mag that's in there right now. But if I take the mag out, you can see the actual chamber, which is pretty cool. I mean, you don't regularly see that on guns like this. And then of course this is gonna be cycling with each round, because it's a gas blowback rifle. And then moving down, you've got your parts that I'm sure you're familiar with. I mean, the mag release, you got your trigger, and the trigger's all right. It's It's nothing really too special. I'll show you that a bit later. You've got your Crossman logos here, semi-auto, or it might say full auto. This is the R1. There is also the SBR, which is in a similar family of guns that do the same thing, but just look a little bit different. You got a nice stippled grip here. My hands are quite big and it still fits them, and the gripping is nice and aggressive, so I like that. On the left side of the rifle, you got things like the bolt release, I believe this is. This functions like a normal rifle, so when you're empty on the mag, the bolt should hold open. You load up the next mag, press this, and it will function as normal. You've of course got your serial number right there, and your fire selector here, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Safe, fire, that's full auto, but that's locked for us, but for some of you, you can use that as well, which I believe is pretty cool. I think it does, God, I can't remember the fire rate, but it's a pretty fast fire rate for CO2, but obviously you'll be burning through CO2 very fast, so keep that in mind. And then the last bit really is the stock. You got this rubber sort of butt pad, nothing special, six piece adjustable, you know, any way you like, which is quite nice. It's got a little bit of wobble to it, which isn't the best, but overall a decent stock, and it looks nice on a rifle as well. So if I turn the rifle to its side for a minute, you can see the mag well, you can see the components in there. It's a sort of little flared mag well, so it's nice and easy to put the magazine in, which I really do like. Now in terms of magazines, I've got two here with me today. This is the normal one, this is the one that the rifle comes with. Obviously it's just the standard magazine. It looks cool, it's not too bulky, like so. Or you've got this one, which doesn't come with the rifle. You'd have to purchase it as extra, although they are readily available. I think they cost about £70. I'll explain the difference between the two now. Okay, so this is the normal magazine. The way this works is a little bit annoying. I got this and out the box, it just seemed to be detached a little bit. Normally this is supposed to clip in nice and comfy, but it just doesn't really. So I'm not sure if that was specific to mine. I'm sure it probably was, but just so you guys know, that was a bit of an annoying thing and part of the reason why I bought the second magazine. In terms of CO2, you've got two chambers for the CO2, so it holds two CO2 capsules, which is nice because that means that's 12 gram CO2 capsules, that is, because that means that it's going to last for a lot more shots, you know, especially if you're firing this thing on full auto. Now, you don't have to load both CO2, you can just load one. To load the CO2, you just get your 12 gram capsule, you put it in like so, you get your supplied Allen key, and you just tighten it like that until you hear it pierce, you know, the classics with CO2s, and then you do the same for the other one until you hear it pierce. The only thing I would say is that make sure this one has a little first on it. Make sure that you pierce this CO2 first. Don't do this one first because your magazine will leak and it will be broken forever. So make sure you do left side first and then right side. And then in terms of the BBs, pretty simple again. I don't know how many it holds. I think it's about 18 to 20. You're just going to pull this down, and then your BBs go in there, and then it does have a little catch so you can hold it down, speed loader or fingers, whatever's your preference, and then release it. Ow, that hurt. And then the BBs will obviously be down here, and then you fire them, and then you sort of got to load the whole BBs again, which is a little bit annoying because you just want to sort of pull the trigger with this one and just get through them as fast as possible, which is why I bought this second magazine. So this one, which is the one that I'll be using today, like I said, is an extra 70 quid or so, but if you have the money, I think it's 100% worth it. I'll explain why. So if it functions in the same way, in that the CO2 is still here. So you've got your two CO2 compartments here, same way. You've got the first here, you're going to want to load this one first and then do this one. CO2 works exactly the same. Just get your capsule, you put it in, You tighten it with the same key, same thing. Once you've done that, so it holds the same amount of CO2, but you would notice that the mag is significantly bigger. Now from the side, it doesn't, you would think that this looks bad in the gun, but it doesn't actually, you know. It's a bit bulky, but it's actually all right. Now the cool thing about this one is that once you've loaded the CO2, in terms of the BBs, all you got to do is just slide this, and then BBs go in there. This holds 300 BBs, so you just load up 300 BBs in there, and the 2 CO2s should last for the full 2 to 300. Then once you've loaded those BBs, all you got to do is pull this like it says, so you hear it click, should stay out, give it a shake, you'll hear all the BBs rattle, and what that will be doing is loading them up into the chamber here. You should only need to shake it for like 1 or 2 seconds, close this, your mag's full, you're ready to fire off another load of shots. You finish this mag, you take it back out, do the same thing, back in, and it's reloaded, just like that. And it's super simple, super quick, super easy, and great fun. So this is the magazine we're going to be using today, and I highly do recommend getting yourself one of these. Alrighty, so I've loaded it up with CO2. Now we're going to take a look at this trigger pull. So let's pull this back. So pull the charging handle back, press the release, there we go. Now the trigger is primed, let's put it on fire. No BBs in, but still pointing in a safe direction. This is what the trigger looks like. So tiny bit of play, a little bit more. So it's a heavy trigger. It's a very heavy trigger. I'll just show you that once more. It doesn't really allow for a load of rapid firing. You can see the cool thing is that the bolt also locks open because it's empty, which is awesome. But yeah, overall average trigger. Alrighty, so chronograph time. Let's see what kind of speed these things are traveling at. First reading is 395 feet per second with 3.92 joules. 388 with 3.78 joules. 386.2 with 3.74 joules. And then 383.5 with 3.69 joules. So overall, we had some pretty consistent readings, which is nice. Now the question is, how will it stand in the accuracy test? But before I do that, let's just let you guys have an idea of what it's like to shoot this thing. Okay, so I've got the target set up at 20 meters. This might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'm going to take my time and we'll see what kind of grouping this rifle can come up with. So that was a full mag at 20 meters, and I'm honestly like, I haven't shot my guns in a while, but I think that that's quite impressive. I mean, let me know what you guys think, but this is a decent grouping. I'll have to check back on the footage to see if there were any flyers and stuff like that, because I'm guessing there might have been a few. But it's just general grouping in this area. You know, it cut out a massive hole right there where so many of them hit. I don't think I would have been able to do that without the hollow sight. Thankfully, that thing was actually zeroed, and I was just dialing in on the center every time, hitting a little bit to the left, obviously. But that's all right. I mean, I'm happy with that. And I think that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, of course. I appreciate all of your support, so thank you very much. And see you in the next one. Bye.